Welcome to what used to be Nerd Positive and now is Bat Signals from the Multiverse. This is a Facebook and YouTube live podcast sharing the light across Gotham, Marvel, and the entire multiverse of comics, movies, and beyond. After the live show, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your audio fixed. Each week, we fire up the signal and explore the stories that keep us hooked. From Gotham's shadows to the Marvel's multiverse, from the Batcave to can't talk, Croaca. Brian, help me.
It's
Thank you. We
Again,
spotlight
words
the
are
world.
hard. Words are hard.
Words are very hard today. We spotlight the worlds that shaped us as fans. Expect comic reviews, movie breakdowns, passionate debates, absurd games, and maybe even a few crossovers that no one asked for, but we're going to do it anyway. Whether you're a Bat fan, an X-Man, die hard, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, or just here for the popcorn, Bat Signals from the Multiverse is the place to be. I am the host, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Buchanan, and with me every week, I have the unverified twin of Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the eyebrows, the unverified twin of Dave Batista in the head wrinkles, the unverified twin of Carl Weathers in the mustache,
The flavor.
unverified twin of Tony the flavor saver indeed. I'm glad we're live because we're not going to start over. That's right. And
Yeah,
the
let's do
unverified twin of Shamar Moore in the nipples.
There we go. And yes, the right ear left for Tony Todd. R.I.P. to Tony Todd, as always. Yes, sir. So thank you all for, first off, surviving the pandemic, for testing Nerd Positive, and now letting your freak flag, or we let it call it, the bat signal fly.
Right.
I am your co-host, Brian S. Dennis, where this week the S stands for zombies.
Yes, it should. It absolutely should. Man, let's go ahead and let's get the signal lit. We got some news. We got some updates. Why don't you give us our WWE recap?
Okay, so first off, the WWE made its somewhat successful transition to the ESPN app. I was what to keep calling it. I believe it's ESPN Unlimited. So a couple things. They hosted their first pay-per-view under this new umbrella, at least in the US, using the ESPN app. So they had WrestlePalooza, which had a few matches that went down. Like most of these events that they're putting on, I think really to push an app, there wasn't a whole lot of impactful things that happened. We saw John Cena get destroyed by Brock Lesnar. I think this is only Cena's second actual one-on-one loss. He lost to Cody at SummerSlam, then he lost to Brock at WrestlePalooza. This was kind of a playing of their match they had from SummerSlam many years ago. At this moment, the only thing that leaves there is Cena, we know, is retiring. What's next for Brock? However, Brad, I don't know if you've heard this. Apparently, maybe as soon as WrestleMania 42, Brock's potential opponent is Braun Breaker.
I can see it, man. And I can see how they get there. I mean, they're both Paul Heyman guys, you know?
Yes, but, Brock can also be a thing. Like, he can be his own person versus that. So we'll see what that leads up to. We saw Division, Bronson Reed and the aforementioned Braun Breaker defeated the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, with LA Knight as a special referee. That leads to something we saw on Monday. Stephanie Vaquer defeated Io Sky to become the new women's world champion. Congratulations to her. She, I believe, is the first woman to have held the NXT North American Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, and now a world title on the main roster. So congratulations to her, as well as being the first Chilean superstar that they've had, and that is why they call her La Primera, the first. With that, CM Punk and AJ Lee defeated Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch with the Black Widow submission. Becky tapped out to AJ Lee. I've never wanted to be Becky Lynch more in my life. And then in the main event, we saw Cody versus Drew McIntyre. None of these results were really that surprising. I think we could see these come other than the Cena Lesnar match, but Cody was not going to drop the title on kind of a B or C level pay-per-view. And he and Drew are probably not done. That's where we're at there. So that was that. And again, not a major event. The next major event we're going to have is going to be Survivor Series War Games. We see what that, and a lot of this was building to Crown Jewel. So with that being said, Brad, here's a couple updates just from this week when we look at Raw and SmackDown. We, again, based on Raw, we have the Crown Jewel to actually happen in Australia, which I expect Rhea Ripley to be featured heavily in that pay-per-view or PLE. We're going to get Cody versus Seth, and Stephanie McCurry versus Tiffany Stratton, the world champions of both the men's. And so just real quick, who do you see winning the men's match, Cody versus Seth? Now, before you answer, one thing that they made a big deal to say on last Monday's Raw is that since Cody's return, in fact, it would have been the only time they messed because Seth would not have been on the main roster and Cody was here previously. Cody has never lost a match to Seth Rollins. And remember, Cody's first 3 pay-per-view matches when he returned a few years ago were against Seth at WrestleMania, at Backlash, and then at their Hell in a Cell match. So, and Cody's the defending Crown Jewel champion. So, just all that being said, who do you think wins, Cody or Seth?
You know what? I'm actually going to go Seth Rollins on this one. I don't think they're going to give Cody a 2-time championship. I don't think they're going to give him back to back.
Right.
I think the vision needs a little bit more heightened on there.
Also could be a great place for McIntyre to maybe interfere and cause Cody the match. I mean, there's things to further that feud. Absolutely.
Speaking of McIntyre, he is going to the Highland. Yes,
he is going to be the Highlander's brother, right?
Brother in Highlander. Not going to be a huge part, but I am looking forward to seeing it. I have a huge part in my heart for Highlander. Highlander is one of my favorite franchises.
Are you Duncan or Connor? Which of the McLeods are you more a fan of?
Duncan.
Okay, as am I.
Yeah, man. I mean, the show took the mythos of Highlander so far. I mean, really, it was, man, Highlander 2. I love Sean Connery. I mean, like, Highlander 2 was weird. It was different. Weird. It was, I mean, weird. but I know what they're going for. Highlander 3, when it was Christopher Lambert against Mario Van Peebles, and he had this, like, he could, like, change the environment and stuff like that. Kind of went out there, you know. I mean, the
movies did not keep pace with the show. The show was fantastic. Adrian Paul to me always will be the Highlander. And what you can do in a show that you can't do in a movie, you can give a lot of subtext with the characters. Richie, there's so much that they could do there. They could do so many of the flashback episodes of those things. So, and they could look at the different versions, not interrupt the different versions. One of my favorite, and I can't remember the episode, but they had the kid, Immortal. The kid, and remember the way he would do it would be he would play the victim and then would just like behead people like in their sleep and stuff. I like that. I love those little things you could do in a show versus you can't do those in a movie, right? So yeah.
Well, with the show, it felt more realistic, right? I mean, like, because an immortal would make friends, an immortal would like make allies in this whole thing, knowing that when it came down to it, you'd have to, because like if you and I were immortals, man, like we would tag team everybody else, but at the end, man, one of us is going to get our head chopped off, another, it
only matters when it's I mean, because the whole idea is that there can be only one. Well, we really only need to have that antagonistic, no friends, no allies when there's 2 left. Right? Your odds are better if you make the final 2 than if you are completely isolated, right? So you're right. It totally makes sense that there would be some networks of immortals working together. Absolutely.
Oh man, I love it. I
Plus,
can't wait for
people
this
you hang
movie.
out with for 200 years that when I think it's weird, you're not getting a day older, right? So,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And of course, you've got Roman Reigns in the upcoming Street Fighter movie as well.
And
So
Cody
that is
Rhodes.
and oh, Cody's in it as well. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
Cody is Colonel
Well,
Guile.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And
So
you know what? Like at
yeah,
first I couldn't see it, but I now I can really see it. I can really see him as
yes,
Guile.
yes, yes.
Getting some Sonic Boom action going on, man.
There it is. There it is. Now I can see the game in my head. All right. We're gonna get Stephanie McCurry versus Tiffany Stratton. All of us will just win. Just
Yes,
just Stephanie just promised me at least one devil's kiss.
there will. There will.
Yes,
You know,
that would be the pop of the night. Can you imagine just the amount when she does a great job. Men are idiots, we really are.
yeah.
But she does a great job of like teasing it, and then when she finally gets it on, especially when she's wrestling someone that most people consider a very attractive opponent. And to
Mhm.
hear Booker T, I hope Booker T's on because Booker T loses his mind. Booker T
Yeah.
absolutely loses his mind every time she does a devil's kiss. So in that one, who do you have? Do you have Vakur or Tiffany Stratton?
I have Vakur.
Okay, and
I
then
I like
the
I like I like
Uso.
Vakur. Go ahead.
She's really fantastic in the ring. She's really. I
Mhm.
mean, I really like Tiffany Stratton as well. But again, I think they're really pushing Stephanie to be the face of the division, which I actually really like. We've got more issues between, especially Jey Uso and LA Knight. That's eventually going to develop something. So my question on
Yeah.
this one is: do you think when Jey Uso and LA Knight, do you think this will eventually cause Jey to be a heel, or is just going to stay babyface versus babyface?
The way that Jay's attitude has changed in the recent weeks,
Mhm.
he's going to be making a heel turn, which sucks because he's so well loved, and I
He
think
is, and the kids
maybe
that he's
they're
feeding, and yeah,
maybe they're just testing the water to see if he's past being able to
right.
become a heel
Well,
because he might be.
yeah. Well, they did this going way back. Again, RIP to someone's no longer with us. So I only remember back in the day when Hulk Hogan was still a babyface, they did a trial match where he came out in all black, almost what his NWO look would look like.
Mhm.
And they did a match with him dressed in black, grew the beard out, just to even see kind of how fans gauge the look. So you're right, there may be some of that. We got the return of Jacob Fatu. I've missed Jacob. So we're gonna
Mhm.
get Jacob and Drew McIntyre, which will be a hard-hitting match. And then just something because he's one of my favorites. It's time for to hopefully get a bit of a push. We saw the beginnings of the breakup between The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes was so good on NXT. I don't know if you saw him on NXT. Him and Braun Breaker legitimately has some of the best matches that WWE's had in the last 3, 4, 5 years. And just to see how far Breaker has taken off on Raw and Carmelo has just not gotten there on SmackDown. He's got all the talent in the world. So hopefully this will begin. This will be a quick feud. Carmelo will win it, but hopefully this will begin a push maybe towards an intercontinental, a United
Mhm.
States title reign. So maybe he will be the person to unseat Sami Zayn. So that is my wrestling wrap up. And as always, man, it is always fun to wrestle with your bro.
Yes, it is. All right, man. So now it is time for Signals of the Week. This is where we kind of go over what we're following, and we're gonna have a little bit of a chat about it, our favorites per se.
Mhm.
All right, Brian, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with my
Yeah.
absolute favorite of the week. Now, we have a show that we both really love, but it actually was not my favorite show of the week.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite of the week, and I don't know if you've been watching, have you caught up with the second season of Gen V?
No, I am not yet. I'm
It
not.
I already liked it a bit more than the boys. I
Mhm.
love this show so much more than the boys. I love everything they're doing, and the new big bad in this is the character Cypher. The show is just fantastic. The show, I
Mhm.
mean, the other show we're going to talk about is really good. This show is such a multi-layered show, and it goes into a lot of the depth of what a powered individual is, and they've done a good job of staying away from too much of The Boys. And again, I know you haven't watched it yet. I think this is episode
I think there's 2 or
4.
3 episodes out. Was it 4? Okay.
It's 4. So 3
Man,
dropped
I'm
the
that
first
far
week.
behind?
Well, week 1 they dropped 3 episodes, so it's
Oh,
only been
okay.
2 weeks. So week 1 they dropped 3, and then had the second week with the 4th episode dropped. I love what they're doing as far as the characters and really showing what it's like. And they do have some tongue in cheek fun with a few of the powers. I'm just gonna say they introduced a new character.
Mm.
Her name is Bushmaster. And I'll leave
I'll
it
be
at
watching
that.
that tonight.
I will leave it at that. Okay. All right.
I will. That will be my goal.
So
Anna,
that is, yeah.
Yeah, I will start watching Gen V tonight, probably.
Okay. But that is just because I really just love the depth of it. Alien Earth had the season finale. Really good season finale. Definitely setting up for season 2 and all the things, and really again the multi-layered versions of that show. The show did this, and I never thought I'd say this. They made you want to cuddle with a xenomorph. They made the xenomorph kind of cuddly. I was like, okay. And then this is a show on Apple Plus. It was suggested to me, and I started. I'm not completely caught up on it, but I've loved what I've seen. Brad, have you watched The Institute?
No, I don't. It's on MGM Plus, right? Not Apple
MGM Plus. I'm sorry, MGM Plus.
Yeah,
So if you need,
so
we'll figure something out if you. But if you get the
I
chance,
have it. I have it.
okay, yeah. If you get a
I have
chance
a funny
to watch
story
it,
about that too.
okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. Imagine Xavier's Institute. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. It doesn't go into the left of rated M for mature type stuff like they do in Gen V, but this
Mhm.
actually has more, because it doesn't go as far with some of the gore and the sex and the language. It sticks to a lot of the psychological piece of this, which is actually sometimes even more impactful. But you said you got a story from it, bro. Hit it.
Okay, so back at the end of Fromo, I signed up for MGM Plus for like the trial or whatever for like $1 a month or whatever. I thought we had canceled it, so I stopped watching things from MGM Plus.
Been there, bro.
And all of a sudden, like the other day, Kaylee was like, "Hey, do we use MGM Plus?" And I'm like, what do you mean? We don't have MGM Plus because there's
I love you get asked that loaded question, right? Like, yeah,
there's things that I want to watch on MGM Plus. I want to watch Billy the Kid. I want to watch The Institute.
Yes.
And she's like, well, we have it. Watch it. I'm like, okay.
The Institute is worth a really good watch. It doesn't have, not to give you spoil, it doesn't have the robustness of powers. Like, it doesn't have the variety of powers that you see in Gen V or the Boys or pretty much anything in the Marvel or DC universe. But it really gets into the depth of really 2 types of powers, and it really talks about that. But also, again, how this will work, and it's one of those that is, because it takes place in it's a Stephen King show. It's also based on a Stephen King book or books. I can't remember if it's one or a series, but it obviously happens in Maine and has so much of the things that live there, and it's just really, really great show. It's really, really great show. And then my last one, then I'll turn over to you, sir. Of course, and it's why what the S stands for this week is not only zombies, but specifically Marvel Zombies. And I'm gonna stop there because I get the feeling we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. So you go, sir. What are some of your favorites?
You know what? Yeah, I got to talk a little bit about Absolute Batman number 12. Comic wise here, so Absolute Batman, the Absolute World is just fantastic. Okay, and Absolute Batman 12 is introducing this concept that a lot of the rogues that they introduced in the beginning of Absolute Batman are his friends.
Yeah,
his friends that he's grown up with. Well, by this time, now Bane has kind of created a lot of his rogues with Venom.
Yes.
Two-Face, Riddler, Penguin, Killer Croc, and everything like that. And Batman is in.
I saw a TikTok, and I think I might have sent it to you, where they're going through like a person. It's a bit of looking
Mhm,
at just the artwork of some of the rogues, and I'm not gonna
mhm.
lie, Killer Croc and Joker were disturbing. Killer
Yeah.
Croc and the Joker were definitely disturbing.
So the joke they did release. I don't know if it's true or not because they've already called out a Joker in the absolute universe, but
Yes,
he's the Joker because he doesn't laugh. Is the
right,
kind of the stick there? But then
right.
they released this like dragonized Joker,
Yes,
which is kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
how that's going to be. I guess we'll find out in the next book. But the other comic I got to talk about a little bit about, and you can go to the TikTok in on YouTube Shorts, and I do a review of these on the I put it through the Signal review system SRS. Deadpool Batman #1 came out.
Okay.
This is the first time that the Marvel and DC have kind of played nice
Hmm.
since the 90s,
Yeah, absolutely,
you know.
absolutely. Yeah.
And to be honest, it was underwhelming.
Really, that's disappointing.
I mean, like they did a good job for what they had, but they didn't really set anything up, right? They
Okay.
didn't that it like they kind of just make it alluded to that in this world that Marvel and DC is just one place and that there's
Hmm.
no travel between there. Like Wonder Woman is part of the Avengers, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
stuff like that, which I don't like. I don't
Yeah.
like that because I think it's taken away from that. No, and if you're going to do it, make sure you do it on the other side as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like make sure like Iron Man is going to be part of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Iron Man and Bruce Wayne, Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne went to school together, went to college together. Something I don't know something, but it was a little underwhelming. I mean, pretty much Joker pays Deadpool to kill Batman. I'm like, to me, I think that's dumb.
Yeah,
Uh,
and it would seem like to me also, if there's anybody that, okay, he's the merc with the mouth, right? So the idea that he can be paid to do things, but you seem like
yeah,
someone that Deadpool being who Wade Wilson being who Wade Wilson is would be fundamentally opposed to the Joker just because he just want to mess with the Joker.
yeah, of course.
The other thing that I just really want is I want Deadpool versus Catwoman. I think that's it. I think that's right for a lot of fourth wall breaks.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Uh,
yeah.
TV shows. We'll talk about. We'll save Marvel Zombies for the end. I
Okay.
got to talk a little bit about Rainmaker. Rainmaker is super good. If you're
Yes,
not watching that, dude, you gotta watch it.
it is such a
It's
good
not.
show.
It's not getting a lot of great reviews. Is that IMDb has it at a 6.7. I'm like, man, I think this is a
Yeah.
pretty darn good
I
show.
think it's a really good legal show. I mean,
Yeah.
I think one review compared it to the Lincoln Lawyer meets Suits, and
Hmm.
I could definitely see that. I absolutely really it's one of my must watches. Like, I don't know if maybe it's affected because it has a wrestling show because it follows SmackDown if you watch it live. So I don't know if that it maybe doesn't have a great lead in, but no, I really enjoyed it. I think it's better than the movie. I absolutely think it's better than the
Yeah,
movie.
me too. Okay. The Strangers, Chapter 2.
Has that actually come out yet?
It's out.
Okay.
Don't
Is
go
it?
watch it. It's
I was gonna
horrible.
ask. I was gonna
Okay,
ask.
so here's the thing. They went to make this movie and they filmed all three of these movies at the same time and then go back and do
Okay.
reshoots or whatever. The first chapter 1 came out a year and a half ago, but the way that they
Mhm,
did it is like there's three parts in every movie, right? So this is
mhm.
the middle of it, but it doesn't feel like an actual movie itself. It just feels like a
Okay.
middle of a feels like a 90-minute long middle of a movie, and it has every horror trope that you could think of. It's got bad CGI. I mean, it like the strangers go into this hospital to get the one person that's gotten away from them and lived, and they kill everybody in the hospital. Really,
Mm,
in the hospital?
mm.
Like there's nobody protecting this person that was just like violated and
Sure.
attacked. There's just so much wrong with it. I did the solo signal just a little bit ago that just I think just hit, and on the signal review system, Brian, out of 5 categories, 5 points each for up to 25
Mhm.
points. What do you think I rated? I rated it.
And the highest is 25, correct?
Highest is 25. There's bonus or penalty points,
I'm
and
a,
this did
I'm going single digits. I'm giving it a 7.
4. 4 out of 25. I gave this 3 penalties for ultimate cringe, 1 for predictability, and no movie fog, man. It was yeah, give it a 1 for plot, 2 for writing, 2 for entertainment, 2 for visuals, 0 for rewatchability. It
How's it
was
doing box office wise? Is it
I mean, the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie is going to take it, but
mhm,
Demon Slayer is still on top right now.
okay?
Um, and I think I don't know if it'll make it through this weekend on top, but I think the Leonardo DiCaprio movie is gonna come. But I have no desire to see that. I'm just not a huge fan of Leo, so
It depends on what he's in.
yeah, I like the
Like
Revenant.
Revenant was good. The Departed is good. Probably my favorite movie that I consider a Leonardo DiCaprio led movie. It goes back and forth between Inception and Shutter Island.
Same.
Both of those are really good. But I Wolf of Wall Street I watched. I think I maybe have. I've only watched Wolf of Wall Street all the way through once, and I've watched bits and pieces. I actually prefer
Mm,
Jonah Hill in that movie to
yeah,
Leonardo DiCaprio. Everybody knows, Titanic, which okay, whatever.
yeah.
Again, not a bad. I mean, it's still probably top 5
Hmm.
all time when it comes to box office. But that movie was about the ship, not about Leonardo DiCaprio, not about
Yeah.
Kate Winslet, all those things. So yeah, so I probably will check it out. But again, he's a really talented actor. But he's not starting a lot of things that I just made my top 10 list
Hmm.
again, probably outside, like I said, Shutter Island and Inception. But I just looked at some of the reviews right now for Strangers 2. So, what percentage do you think Strangers 2 is on Rotten Tomatoes? Unless you already know.
So it's 15% on the tomato meter and 58 was it 50? I think it's 58% on the popcorn meter. At least it was
Yep,
when I
yep,
was.
yep.
Yep.
And then on IMDb, it is 4.9 out of 10.
Yeah.
IGN is 3 out of 10. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Man, it's a toughie. It's a toughie.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we had a great cameo in Peacemaker.
Oh, I forgot about Peacemaker. Yes, thank you for bringing it up.
Yes.
We had a
Uh
fantastic. It was almost excellent.
yes, it was. It was very excellent.
And
I think
it
that is the
yeah,
new way to say it too.
and give again, this is all about James Gunn and him really finding, and it can be those small things that they do to just bring about those. Again, it's the idea that this is one universe. So having folks from from the TV shows, and really the show that they're going to show from is from Peacemaker, but really you having folks from Peacemaker show up on the big screen, and then having folks on the big screen show up on the show, especially in front, and using, interestingly, from someone like Rick Flag Sr. as the driving force. You could say that
Mhm.
is maybe a metaphor analogous to our boy Samuel Jackson, but the L stands for mother, as Nick Fury throughout the MCU. So again,
Mhm.
using those various pieces of the puzzle, and I got to say the last 2 episodes of Peacemaker were just so good, including the end of the most recent episode. I forget if it was 5 or 6, but the ending of the most
6.
recent episode, 6. I'm watching, I'm actually digging the episode, and then that scene or the montage with Adebayo, the flag that's on the desk, all the things, and I go, yo, yo. Yeah, I am jazzed for this coming
Mhm.
week. Like, okay, where's this going next? So yes.
Right.
So Peacemaker continues. I mean, it is so good. I mean, we mentioned between the Institute, Alien Earth, Gen V, Peacemaker, really just what is that? 4 really good sci-fi fantasy shows that are out there that really I think are okay. Gen V and Alien Earth are not for kids. The Institute,
No.
if you got someone around Leia's age, could definitely watch that. Peacemakers definitely they've done a good job of reducing some of the nudity in Peacemaker. If you worried about that, the language is still there. But then of course we gotta talk about it. Was my number 2. I don't know if it's your number 1, but regardless, I was so hyped for this show, and I'm going to start with my one criticism. That it was 4 episodes. That's my only criticism. Well, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about Marvel Zombies.
It is my number 1.
All right, as it should be. I just so loved, and again, Gen V, and again, the character Cypher, it just was so, we're talking 1 and 1A here, but absolutely, man. Let's get into it. Marvel Zombies.
Oh my gosh, man. Like, this is animation perfection for Marvel.
Yes.
Like, this should have been a theatrical release.
Yes.
Because it was about 2 hours altogether.
Yes.
Man, like, this was done so very well. I mean, like, when you talk about making this stuff, you know, a new thing, or not even a new thing, but you have to get people into it. You have to immerse them into that world.
Yes.
Marvel Zombies did it in like 10 minutes. I was so invested.
And they did a great job of doing something when you do a series that's part of a bigger storyline. While each episode was still linked to the other 3 episodes, they did a good job of every episode had a certain flavor to it that it could be its own standalone. I agree with you. Episode 2, that beginning, and just all the things they did. So obviously, so this is, you've never seen What If. This is based on the What If episode of Marvel Zombies, which throughout the 3 seasons of What If is probably my favorite episode.
Yeah.
But then where it took these, the way it had the take on, as we both were screaming. In fact, one of my coworkers, he was running home because he hadn't seen it, but he had heard his son had told him, a spoiler alert, about the new take on Moon Knight, and that absolutely goes, I'm going to watch that. But the take on that, how they look at the 10 Rings with Shang-Chi, the total Mad Max influence of episode 2 was so there. Really, episode 3, when they're talking about Carmitage and really picking up where What If left off, and then of course that final fight, and obviously, and I love Marvel for saying this when they talked about would there be a season 2 of Marvel Zombies. They go, well, it depends on if season 1 is a hit. Well, it obviously is. You would give, and they took, for the most part, which Marvel is doing, and again, James Gunn started doing this with DC. They did this while you had some of the big name characters. This is led by not that top tier characters. This is led, again, spoiler alert, this is led by Kamala Khan, so Miss Marvel. This is led by Blade / Moon Knight. This is led by, honestly, Shang-Chi.
Red Guardian.
Shang-Chi. Red Guardian. Made you feel for the Red Guardians and Yelena and all this. And you can see they're really trying to push what would be the next set of stars in what's coming up with Doomsday. So with again, they had Yelena, they had Red Guardian, Miss Marvel. They had a lot of those. So you got so there was no Hulk. You got Thor. I want to say you got an Iron Man. You got a Miss Marvel. I'm not Miss Marvel. You got a Captain Marvel. I'm trying to think of any of the other. Well, Ant-Man is there. Part of Ant-Man.
Sort of,
yeah, sort of, kind of. But it did a great job of really establishing this as a standalone and really having this be that different arc that's going to connect with those characters, going to lead their next big live action series with Avengers Doomsday. So this was done incredibly well. And of course, the Queen of the Dead.
Dude.
The Queen of the Dead.
Yes. Man, okay. Question for you.
Yes, sir.
What's better, Marvel Zombies or DC's Blackest Night?
I got to go Marvel Zombies.
Okay. See, I think there's more there with Blackest Night.
There's
but
more
I think
there.
You could do. Yeah, because the story's already there. I mean, you have Necron, you have
Yeah,
the stuff that
yeah,
already
yeah.
set up,
Right.
but I think that you could go further with Marvel Zombies.
What makes me go Marvel Zombies over Blackest Night is you have to start. You have to go further back to make it make sense. You have to have the entire understanding of the canon and the
True.
mythos of the Green Lanterns and the color
Yeah.
spectrum and all that for Blackest Night to make sense. You have to introduce the Black Lanterns and Necron again, all those things. Versus at today's point, between anything by George R.R. Romero, you got Shaun of the Dead, you got War Z, you've got We Live in a World, you've got the Walking Dead, you've got Fear the Walking Dead, you've got Daryl Dixon, you got all these things that have foundational idea of what zombies are, how people become zombies, and then you're just adding that over the layer of understood Marvel character already existing. So that's why I'm saying that Marvel Zombies has a head start versus Blackest Night. Blackest Night, though, again, if you're gonna, by the way, it lends itself perfectly to animation, and you could do it. You could do a quick exposition because again, I think most people, especially our level of fandom, know 100%. They don't know the Black Lanterns; they know the Green Lanterns, and you can do a real quick overview of the Black Lantern, and off you go. All right, my friend.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get into game time. You got some questions that we're going to do a little bit of talking about.
Yes.
What do you got for me?
So here's what I got for you, man. I think I'd be short and sweet this week for our game. And this is the things that make me go, So I just wanted to see where we would line up if we, again, Brad and I, you can see the background behind us, which features Nightwing and Batman, is if we were Lucius Fox, if we were Alfred, if Batman comes to us with the utility belt and goes, I've got 5 slots. What are you putting in the utility belt for Batman? He's going to go out. He's going to Arkham. He's facing off against the baddest of the baddies. We got to arm him with only 5 slots in that utility belt. What 5 items are you giving Batman to take on his mission of missions?
I'm giving him, in one thing, I'm going to give him a foldable Phantom, the Phantom Zone, like a prison.
Okay, time out. It's got to be from the Batman universe. Got to be from the Batman universe. Okay.
Well, the Phantom Zone's from Superman.
Oh, it's Phantom Zone. I was hearing. Okay, never mind. I was hearing the Blade from Mandalorian. That was where my head.
Oh,
okay.
No. Okay. No. Just something that he could throw at people to put them in, like almost like a send off, like a folding
like
reality
a projector. Gotcha.
Right. That I feel like that Mr. Terrific could invent. I think he's gonna have a picture of his parents.
Nice.
Picture of his parents.
Say more about that. I love it. But why are you giving Batman a picture of Thomas and Martha? Why are you giving him that?
Because if it comes down to it, he will, no matter where he is at, no matter how many bones are broken, if he gets that reminder of why he's Batman, he's gonna win.
He's a reason to fight. I'm with you. Okay.
Gives him the reason to fight. Yeah. All right. So Phantom Zone, parents. I think obviously there's going to be a remote control, some sort of device that is going to get him out of any situation, whether it's going to be forcefully from like the Batwing or from the Batmobile. So in Pocket 3, we'll call it just a get out of jail free card.
Gotcha.
Just something that's just going to get him out of there. The Batwing is going to be flying by, and it's just going to suck him up to get him out, or he's going to.
Oh, that was Catwoman's job.
Exactly. Yes. Well, that makes this next part kind of, or he can have it to get somebody else out too. And so there's that's 4. So I need one more.
That is 4. Yep.
I need one more.
Wait, no, that's 3. I mean, that's
3.
Only 3. Okay. Phantom Zone projector, picture of his parents, and I'm just gonna say the remote control get out of jail free card. So you got 2 more slots, my friend.
Okay, I think we are gonna have to go with a ring that can give him a new suit.
Kind of like
Kind of like the
flash
Flash
suit.
ring,
Yeah.
right? But only he can't move as fast, so it'll shoot it out, but he could put it back on.
And he
So
turned his head.
okay, one more. Well, the
Yep.
ring, the ring will be in the pocket that he has to take out too.
Okay.
Or it's some way to change a suit.
Sure.
And then I think for my final thing, it would have to be that's tough. Okay, I got it. His
All right.
final pocket
Yes, sir.
is gonna be empty because he's always prepared. So he's gonna have somewhere to put something that he's gonna find.
Okay. That's fair.
So he's got
fair.
So while he's being a detective, he doesn't got a lot of pockets in the bat suit.
Okay.
So he's got to have somewhere that he's gonna find the whatever to break the case. He's gonna find
Sure.
it, put it in his pocket.
Okay. Nice.
What about you, my friend?
You are more imaginative than I am. So here's my list. So number one, because it's Batman, he's got to have a Batarang. Just because. Got to have the Batarang.
Dang. I guess bad Brad. All right, keep going, buddy.
Next up, I went a lot of his old school things. So I love the smoke pellets. That's always been one of my favorites is when he drops the gas pellet with a smoke pellets and then he's missing. You can't find him. Depending on which version of this, he's Batman again. I'm thinking about if he was doing this at Arkham or just going through the streets of Gotham. His ability to get in and out of situations by rappelling. So I gave him his grappling hook. I think a mini laser. I almost put a similar as the kind of the remote control get out of jail free. In fact, I was doing some research. It's actually called his crypto cipher, the kind of handheld computer that can do anything. I almost gave him that. But I thought, I'll give him a laser. And because a little tongue in cheek, I figured if he's going to Arkham, figuring that Catwoman's going to be there, Poison Ivy's going to be there, Harley's going to be there, maybe Talia al Ghul's going to be there. If he's going to have anything, because he is always prepared, the bat condoms.
I really hope that your honest ad is for bat condoms, by the way.
It is not, but it might be next week. You may have inspired me. All right.
Okay, well, with that, I think it's time for the honest ad of the week.
All right, here's my honest ad. It is also a Batman thing. It is actually the Batmobile. So here we go.
Okay.
All right. No brakes, all gas. This vehicle kicks much ass. Built to roam the streets of Gotham, it handles the worst of foes. No problem. It zooms the road and is made for speed. The Batmobile has all you need. From injection seats to a missile rack, the rocket engine gives no slack. It holds 2 passengers, but really only needs room for one. Stay home, Robin. Tonight, I'm picking up Catwoman.
And to use that bat condom.
And use that bat. Meow. All right, but I don't know where that came from. All right, my guy. That is my honest ad for the Batman. Yeah, Better Human of the Week. I got to give this one over to B&B. So a week ago, yesterday, one of the groups that I am a proud board member is CISL, the Centralized Center for Independent Living. So B&B got to give you and your co-host and just the B&B audience a great deal of flowers and support for just having us in there to go hang out. Got to play some 90s comedy trivia. I got to flex a few muscles. My team won. Not that matters. My team won. And just really raise some money for a great organization. So again, Brad, you are fantastic. So again, as anyone in our podcasting audience, if you want a great time, go to B&B Theaters, not only for the movie, but also for any trivia events that my tag team partner does here. You are a fantastic MC. And the last thing I'll say on that is, again, Franken Beans.
My Better Than Us Human of the Week is my co-host and stuff of work. It was her birthday the other day, Jen. So I just got to say, Jen,
Happy
happy
birthday, Jen.
birthday. Have a I hope
Absolutely.
you're had a wonderful birthday and all the kind of good stuff that came along with it.
Fantastic.
And with that, okay. All right, here's the deal, guys. We made some changes in our thing. So we are going to do the Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome, but not live. So you're going to have to download the podcast in order to get that on your feed. But we will go over our lists and who are we going to take to the Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome
Yes.
onto the next show.
Yes, sir.
And we made some changes to that too. It's going to be, you know what? I'm going to explain that on the next one. So let's go ahead and get in our list. Brian, you kind of, we'll do one at a time. All right.
All right. Okay.
You do one and I do one.
Yes, sir.
Who is your number one?
So let's set the stage. So you and I are, again, this actually was inspired by the what if that turned into Marvel Zombies. We talked a lot about Blade and Moon Knight, who they don't really give a name to. We named them Blade Moon. So here is what we did. So we thought about if we took characters and we did the amalgamation. That's all we said. We're going to combine characters. Now, we didn't set the rules for the amalgamation. I'm going to tell you what I did. I took one character from DC and one character from Marvel, and I merged them. And not only did I merge them, I gave them a name and a short origin story. So we'll go back and forth. I came up with 10, and I give my first one. And this one was the second one that came to mind. And also I thought Brad is going to dig this one. So here's the origin story for this particular character named Hellfire. The Phoenix Force, on its way to Earth, is seeking Jean Grey. Unfortunately, unable to find Jean, it settles on the nearest human body to Jean's last location. This person is Dr. Harleen Quinzel. Harley Quinn inherits the Speed Force, and with all of her Harliness, becomes a character known as Hellfire.
So you said Phoenix Force, not Speed Force.
Phoenix Force, not Speed Force.
Okay.
So again, from the Marvel universe, I've got the Phoenix Force, and from DC, I've got Harley Quinn. Put them together, you got Hellfire, sir.
Okay. So, oops. My number one. Now, I went a little bit outside. Some of mine are actually I have some might be either same like Marvel, some might be Marvel DC, some might have went off. Like my number one here, I took one of the probably the most badass characters that's not in Marvel and DC, and that's Spawn, by the way. And I put Spawn with a guy from Marvel who had his family killed by the mob and wears a skull as a logo. I have Brian. I have the Spawnisher.
The Spawnisher.
And Punisher.
Yes, sir. All right. My next one is going to be Barbara Gordon, after being paralyzed by the Joker and taking on the name Oracle, wants to return to crime fighting. Unable to get the use of her legs, she subjects herself to experiments in which wings are grafted onto her body. We're going to do an amalgamation of Angel and Barbara Gordon, and that character is going to be known as Halo.
I really like that. Man, I would buy that in a second.
I thought I would like that. I'm like, that will work.
Dude, that is great. That might be my favorite character out of all of them so far. I can see it. I can definitely see it. Okay.
Right?
So, my next one, I kind of alluded to earlier. They made a comic together. So I decided to maybe they put them together. So Brian, let me introduce you to the fourth wall breaking, brooding man who can do anything if he's prepared. Batpool.
Batpool. Love it. Love it. And of course, that is a combination of Batman and
Batman
Deadpool.
and Deadpool. Yes.
All right. So, my next one is gonna be one of my favorite characters, and I try to pick characters that were lesser known as well, or at least characters that haven't really led a whole lot of products, whether it's Marvel or DC. And one of which is Bishop. I really love the take on Bishop that they did in the X-Men 97 and obviously in Days of Future Past. But I thought, okay, let's take Bishop. But in this situation, Bishop, instead of absorbing energy that he can use for strength, in this one, the energy that he absorbs allows him a stronger connection to the Speed Force. So he can only access his powers by taking damage. But if he takes physical damage, he can then access the Speed Force, but only for a limited amount of time. And this character, Bishop versus the Flash, we're naming him Breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
And that's combining Bishop and the Flash.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna like this next one, man. When this one, when I was thinking about this one, I gave me a smile because I think you're gonna like this one.
Okay.
So these both are actually from DC. So I'm taking a DC character, another DC character, kind of putting together, and it really made me think of like, how is this not even a thing yet? But I'm calling this one the Steel Lantern. This is Steel and Green Lantern, because you already have the Hammer of Will. That is the lantern. That is the ring, the hammer that Steel has. So I didn't want to pick an actual Green Lantern, but instead I wanted to make it the weapon. So the Green Lantern is the weapon that Steel is going to have. Is kind of the way that I'm kind of envisioning. But this is Steel Lantern.
Love it. Love it. And I have a Green Lantern mention coming up in a couple. But before we get there, imagine Victor Stone, but instead of Victor Stone's father working at Star Labs, Victor Stone's father works at a local zoo. And when we have a mother box that invades, instead of it pulling in technology, this actually pulls in the various animals in the zoo. So I thought about combining Beast and those feral abilities with Cyborg and his various components. So we're going to have Victor Stone, who is comprised of different animals, and we're going to call him the Wildlife.
And yes, that is, I like that a lot too. All right,
he will be blue.
Okay, so Halo so far is my favorite, even out of all of my list as well.
Nice.
Okay, my next one, because Blade Moon, I had to put Moon Knight in here in some way because Khonshu just works well for this kind of thing.
I love how they treated Khonshu and zombies as well. I love that.
Oh my god, so good. But it's who from DC, who from other, and I came to one guy who's already probably one of the best fighters in all of DC.
Okay.
I mean, Batman really, I don't think he's ever beaten him. But we're talking about Slade Wilson, Deathstroke. We're gonna do Moonstroke, Moon Knight, and Deathstroke.
Love it, love it, love it. By the way, sometimes when I'm alone at night, never mind. Okay. Got it. Moonstroke, which is Moon Knight and Deathstroke, which actually, could you imagine the conversations that Slade and Khonshu would have? Like just the arguments. I think so far out of yours, I think Moonstroke or potentially Punisher is my favorite. I'm thinking right now, Moonstroke is probably my favorite. All right. So I told you I was going to have a Green Lantern reference, and here it is. We have the Crimson Bands of Sidorak. And instead of those Crimson Bands of Sidorak, which power the Juggernaut, instead of them being found by Kane Marco, they're found by my favorite Green Lantern, John Stewart. So you have John Stewart, the former Marine, with the Crimson Bands of Sidorak. So when you combine the Juggernaut and John Stewart, you get the Jarhead.
Oh my gosh. Dude, what a wonder. That's okay.
Could you see it? Even like instead of it being the brown, maybe even a camouflage as far as
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Would he be a villain though? I don't think so.
No, and that would be the thing. Remember that Sidorak is a villain. So everyone's always inherited his powers have been at least leaning towards villainy. But John Stewart's one of the most noble principled of all the lanterns. So that could be the internal dialogue of Sidorak trying to influence him pushing back. And again, that indomitable will that makes such a great Green Lantern, that would be the subtext of Jarhead. It's him fighting against this god who's given him these
that's
powers.
really good too. Okay. All
I
right,
was proud of this. I was proud of my list. I'm not done. I was proud of my list.
I mean, so dude, that one beats Halo. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. So this next, I couldn't think of a good name, but I think it'd be really cool to see these two together. An amalgam of Rogue, and I didn't want to put Superman on here, but I wanted to get Shazam in here because I like the thought that you have to say the word in order to have the powers. So what if Rogue could turn off all of her powers with a word and have all the powers of, I mean, she's already super strong. She can already fly and stuff like that. So it's not a super far for something. I'm not really doing much to the character except being able for her to turn it off. So I'm actually kind of depowering Rogue a little bit by putting them together, I think. I mean, she's going to be probably stronger as Shazam, I would think, but maybe. But anyway, I can't think of a good name, but Rogue Shazam. I guess Rogue Shazam sounds pretty good.
Well, how about Starvel? So instead of Marvel,
I like
she's
Starvel.
A Starvel. So yes,
I like that. We're gonna go with that.
All right. So my next one is gonna be. We both know how much I love Mr. Terrific, and I could not do a list without featuring Mr. Terrific. But imagine this as a backstory: is Mr. Terrific is actually kidnapped by some rogue agent because they admire his intellect. But in the midst of this, he's severely injured, and they replace one of his arms with the cybernetic arm of the Winter Soldier, and they do all the programming. But because he's Mr. Terrific, even under the influence, he begins to dissect the programming in his subconscious. So when you add up Winter Soldier versus Mr. Terrific, there's only one name I could think of. He will be known as Fair Play.
Fair Play, indeed, man. That is a good one as well. Okay. My next one is, I'm calling this one Spider Clown, but it's going to be Spider-Man. This is a villain. The clown is not the Joker. The clown is Pennywise. It is the whatever Pennywise is, an alien, whatever this monstrous thing, where instead of the
I think Pennywise might be the butler from Clue. I don't know why I think that. I think there might be some similarities there.
You know, I can see that. I can.
Wouldn't that be great if in one of the Clue rooms under the bed was actually Pennywise, or there's just red balloons floating through?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
It's in the box. Yes. So we are calling this. We are calling Spider Clown.
Spider Clown. Love it. All right. Next up for me, Natasha Romanoff. In her final test in the Red Room, it's winter, and she's accidentally locked into a thermofrost chamber. And because of this, she inherits freezing powers very similar to those of Killer Frost. However, instead of Killer Frost absorbing the heat in the room and making individuals cold, the Black Widow and her trauma freezes you by absorbing your emotions. You have Black Widow, the Killer Frost. She is known simply as grief.
That's pretty good too, man. I like it. So I'm kind of proud of this one as well.
All right.
But they're when I got to thinking, but they're already kind of similar. Now, I wanted to take somebody that you don't hear a lot about, but we know. So we're gonna start with Dynamite Comics Witchblade.
Mm.
And we're gonna put Witchblade with Wonder Woman, and we're gonna call this
That's great. I don't even just that's great.
Witch Woman.
Yes.
Yes, Witch Woman indeed. And still get the WW in there. I mean, it's not even a far fetch, honestly, but I want to see it.
I absolutely want to see it. And could you imagine the costume?
Oh yes, I can.
I figured that's why you went there. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up for me, we're gonna take Gwen Stacy, and instead of her being bitten by radioactive by radioactive spider, she's bitten by a radioactive plant. Similar to, and so she absorbs powers very similar to poison ivy, green skin and all, but her plants actually can get out and move on their own and are actually predatory. As a result of this, when you mix Spider Woman and poison ivy, we're gonna call her the Fly Trap.
Fly Trap. That's awesome. That's really good. All right, man. My number 8 is I wanted something on here that is probably the most overpowered amalgam that I could possibly even imagine. Okay. And if you know me, you know I have to get something in Star Wars in here. So I went all in on this one here. I have the amalgam of Darkseid and Darth Vader. And we're going to call him the Omega Vader.
Okay. First off, I just see that character looking incredibly cool.
Yes.
And just all the things. And I'm thinking the voice has got to be Dennis Haysbert.
Oh, just deep,
dark, powerful, and always kind of very measured in speech. So Omega Vader, I think actually right now has taken the cake of my favorite that you came up with. So my next one, this is the first one I thought of when I thought about who do I want to see come together. I don't know if I ever shared it with you, but one of my first loves outside of Batman and comics, my next big love, at least in the DC universe, was actually Firestorm. I've always been a huge Firestorm fan. So I played with the idea of a couple radiation powered individuals, and I looked at what if, Brad, instead of Bruce Banner being exposed to gamma radiation and becoming the Hulk, what if there was a second person in the room when the accident happens? What if Bruce Banner and his colleague Martin Stein were involved in the same accident, and similar to the the Firestorm Matrix, it takes two of them and they have to become the Hulk by joining forces. Now, one other thing. Depending on which personality is dominant, you get two different versions of the Hulk. If Bruce Banner is in control, you get the traditional Savage Hulk. If Martin Stein is in control, you get the Smart Hulk. regardless of Smart Hulk versus Savage Hulk, we're going to name this person Fallout.
I love that one. And Firestorm does not get enough love
Does
in
not.
the comics.
Does
Absolutely
not.
not.
Legends
Okay.
of Tomorrow gave him a little bit more, but you're
Mm.
right. In the overall world of it, he does not get the shine, especially for the powers that he has. Does
Yeah.
not get the shine that he deserves. All right, my friend, you're number
All right,
9.
my number 9. This is a Marvel on Marvel character, and actually they're both actually mutants as well. So,
Okay.
and they don't even. I've never really seen a lot of them interacting, but I think it would be really, really interesting. I want to take the mutant who is just extremely lucky, Domino,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to put it with probably one of my favorite Marvel characters, the Raging Cajun Gambit. The
How have those
lucky
two not
thief
interacted? But you're
card
right.
player.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Dombit.
Dombit. Got it.
Dombit. Yeah, but I was looking. There is not a ton of them and honestly, they would make a really good team together. I mean, they were both in X Force.
Yeah.
At different times, they're both in all the X teams because everybody's in all the X teams. You know, all the bigger names.
But if you think about it, if Gambit and Rogue broke up, I could see Domino being like, you could just play up a lot of those things. So yeah,
Mhm.
I like Dombit. I really like Dombit. All right. So my last one, and I wrote this one for you because I think how awesome this would happen is you take Nightwing in the city of Bloodhaven, and he is bitten by Mobius, and he inherits vampire powers. And when you mix Mobius the vampire with Nightwing, you gotta name him. It's gonna be a badass name, Bloodwing.
Bloodwing is awesome. Okay. All right, Brian. Out of all of your list, I guess I got to do my number 10.
You got one more to go, bro.
Okay, my number 10. This one's for you, buddy.
All right.
I took one of your favorite villain, the Joker. Oh, Brian. And who would be the last person that we could amalgam with the Joker? And then it hit me like 3 freaking claws. Wolverine. So we're going to call this the Joker Veen. And this is Wolverine and the Joker.
I would have named it the Hyena, but I get that.
Yeah, but the Hyena is part of like the Batman Beyond people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so but I like, yeah, absolutely. But there it is. There's my number 10. Yeah. There's my 10. There's your 10. Brian, I got to let you know, my favorite out of all of yours is Jarhead. That is my favorite.
Yep. Mine as well. And my favorite out of yours is Omega Vader. I just think that would be, you talk about someone that you would just see, just the visuals be really cool. It would be still some level of black on black, but could you imagine like the Vader outfit, but maybe do away with the cape and put the big Omega symbol in red just in the middle of his chest plate, and then almost have like, again, the dark side kind of skull cap, but maybe the Vader face mask. Yeah. You can hear this. You need the breath. You need that Vader imposing breath. And still, again, those very slow, methodical steps. And RIP to James Earl Jones. If you can't have James Earl Jones do it, again, I think that Dennis Haysbert, just that fear mixed with disgust, and superiority. And then could you just imagine, again, him shooting out the Omega beams, of course, and forget the Force choke. He's just zapping you to, it's over. There's no point. There's no point. There's absolutely no point. I absolutely love it. Love it.
Brian, I guess so. That is the Nerdageddon. That's going to be the list. So we're going to take our lists And then we're going to end the show here in a minute. We're going to take our list and we're going to strike two. We got this new game that I kind of redesigned, the Nerd Again. We're going to try it out, and it's going to be released as a separate podcast on just the feed. That's not going to be a live stream. So if you want that, you have to download. You have to follow. So why not give us a 5-star review? Brian, it is time for your words of wisdom.
As always, again, want to thank all of you for surviving the pandemic and testing nerd positive and now throwing up your bat signals from across the multiverse. Thank you for joining us for the best part of our week. Make sure you check out the Nerd Again Tournament of Awesomeness. But before we go, just want to remind you two vital things as you go into your week. First off, no retreat, no surrender. And remember, Goonies never say die.
All right, squirrels' cheeks are like squirrels' cheeks are their nutsacks. And remember, you're the avocado of life. People might not always understand you, but those who do think you're amazing. All right, and that is it. The signal fades into the night sky. Thanks for tuning into Bat Signals from the Multiverse. We'll light it up again next week. Keep your eyes peeled for TikToks and shorts dropping all week long. And watch for those emergency beacons. Your chance to jump into the chaos live. Every week we shine the signal bright on one property. So send us your requests. Don't forget to follow, like, drop a comment, share, and leave a 5-star review to help the signal shining bright. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And remember, when the dice rolls and the cards flip, anything can happen in the Nerdageddon Tournament of Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, folks.